Anything that crosses my eyes is a potential sweater. I've made 106 sweaters with my own designs to this day. The typical design on one of my sweaters is either a picture from nature or an iconic landmark. Some of them have been from outer space. Many of them I do for holidays or events as well. And I don't use a graph or anything or a pre-drawn piece of paper. Sometimes I'll study images of whatever it is I'm knitting, if it's a real place, just to know what it looks like. I knit these sweaters for myself because it's not practical for me to make them for other people. It takes a month to make one, so I can't go become a human sweater mill.
Yeah.
Like I'm always expecting people to ask how much experience do you need to do this, how much knitting experience, and I have the answer, 17 months. It took me 17 months between my first knitting lesson and the day I started my first sweater using this concept. I've been knitting for almost 18 years now. It'll be 18 years in March. I spend a few hours every day knitting. It varies. I don't have a fixed knitting schedule except I attend knitting groups like this one. When I was in college, I really thought I was going to be a nurse. I went into nursing very enthusiastically. I took all the courses to get into the nursing program. They were very hard. I felt burnt out by the time I got through half of nursing school. I was trying very hard to finish it at that point, but I realized that I couldn't because of the medical issues that I had. But then, when I stumbled onto knitting, I didn't even think of that as a career immediately, but once I found I could make my own creations, I thought, this is what I want to do with my life. This is it. Early on in 2017, I accidentally friended someone on LinkedIn who had the same name as someone I'm acquainted with, and then he decided to look at who I was. So he looked at my Facebook profile as well, and he discovered my sweaters. So he wrote an article, and within a matter of hours after that, the mass media all over the world picked up on the story. And then I was thinking, what's going on here? It was so interesting. Being famous at first was very overwhelming. I found I had thousands of emails and Facebook messages, and it's just humanly impossible to go through that all at once. I'm trying to keep my daily life as much the same as it always has been. My friends are always going to be my friends. Of course, I've met a lot of new people through all of this who have become friends as well. As one of my friends told me, she told me to keep on knitting. Don't give up your knitting, whatever you do. Don't replace it with media attention, and that's my plan. I love sweaters because I can wear them, people can see them. Instead of being forced to wear the clothes that the commercial marketplace has to offer and being limited to that, I can wear something with my own design that I envision. Yes, I feel extremely lucky that I found what I enjoy doing with my life. Not everyone can say that. People have told me that I've inspired them. That's one of the things I'm so happy to hear all the time, is if someone else picks up their needles just because they're inspired by what I do. Even if they knit something that's solid colored, even if it's only a scarf as opposed to a sweater, I'm always happy to hear that. And likewise, I encourage people who knit, just be happy if you can get a stitch done. That's a big honor.